And we start tonight with day one of the trial in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. It has been nearly a year and a half now since 3 people were arrested and charged with his killing. Jury selection began today. Now, the main goal is to find a suitable number of jurors to unbiasedly listen to both sides of the case.
And we're already starting to see a significant presence of support for Ahmaud Arbery and his family. And there's a lot to unfold from today, so we want to get you caught up with what we know at this hour. Here's On Your Side's Kaylee Tracy.
Emotional. Because we know Ahmaud been lynched.
Emotional. That's how Ahmaud Arbery's father Monday outside the courthouse described the more than a year and a half that has led up to the trial for the 3 men charged with his son's murder.
It's been a long road and we want justice. That's all we want is justice for Ahmaud.
Monday, the state and the defense questioned the first group of 20 potential jurors until about 6:30 p.m. They faced questions that were still being hammered out this morning, like whether they think a Confederate flag is a racist symbol, a question the judge said he would allow defense attorneys to ask. The judge is not allowing the defense to ask potential jurors if they're concerned about their safety or livelihoods if they're picked for this case, agreeing with the state that could potentially rule out everyone.
It's been a long road to get here. We've prayed, we've cried, we've been happy, we've been sad, and we've just been pushing and fighting. And so now that we're here, we're ready just to go ahead, face what we need to face, and get things over with.
Arbery's aunt and father say the family will get through the trial the same way they have for the past year and a half, through love and prayer. Of the 20 potential jurors today, 8 still need to be individually questioned. There's some discrepancy among members of the courtroom media pool whether all 12 questioned were dismissed or if some remain in limbo. That confusion, due in part to the judge, has not allowed consistent audio from the jury selection room. Another 20 are expected to report Tuesday morning when court begins at 8 a.m. Kaylee Tracy, First Coast News, On Your Side.
So now that you're caught up with what happened today, here's what you need to know going forward. The McMichaels and Bryan are each facing 9 criminal charges. So here's a look at those charges now. Prosecutors say that Travis McMichael is the one who shot Arbery 3 times with a shotgun in February 2020. It wasn't until May when Travis McMichael was arrested along with his father, Gregory McMichael, who is a former law enforcement member, who was also there when his son Travis allegedly shot Arbery. Now, Gregory was driving the truck as he and his son drove around the Satilla Shores neighborhood moments before that shooting. Gregory told investigators that Travis, quote, had no choice but to shoot Arbery. And William Roddy Bryan is also facing charges in this case. He's the person who recorded the shooting on his cell phone. He also reportedly told investigators that Travis McMichael used a racial slur while standing over Arbery's body.
And these charges that they're facing are state charges in Georgia, and if convicted, they could face life in prison. All 3 are also facing federal hate crime charges. That trial is set to start in January once this trial finishes. And to get a decision in their state case is going to take days, if not a couple of weeks, to find the right people. As Kaylee stated earlier, 1,000 people were summoned, having to fill out this 3-page questionnaire before they were individually questioned by lawyers. As of tonight, less than 20 out of 1,000 jurors have been personally questioned. So with a jury pool that size, it's going to take a little bit of work from both sides of the courtroom. We want to go ahead and bring in First Coast News legal analyst LaFonda Middleton right now. So LaFonda, let's talk about jury selection. Walk us through the jury selection process and how hard it's going to be to find an impartial jury.
Yeah, the jury pool in this case is rather large. There are 1,000 potential jurors out there, and the court is only interviewing 20 at a time. So it's going to be a long and tedious process. So at the beginning, the judge will ask general questions and the jurors will respond to those general questions. The attorneys will take notes and then the attorneys will have an opportunity to ask their general questions. The purpose for these general questions is really to weed out those jurors that definitely will not be able to serve. Those that will say, no, I cannot be fair and impartial. Yes, I've already made up my mind, that sort of thing. And then the attorneys will have an opportunity to speak to each juror one at a time. And keep in mind, there are 3 defense attorneys and then, of course, the prosecutor. So there are 4 attorneys that will have a shot at each potential juror. It will take a long time, I think, for them to get through this process of interviewing each juror individually.
LaFonda, let's talk about why jury selection is so important for attorneys on both sides. They want to make sure they get this right and they have the right people on the jury.
And most attorneys, and myself included, believe that jury selection is one of the most crucial parts of the case. These are the people that are going to be listening to the evidence, listening to the witnesses, and making the decision, in this case, on the guilt or innocence of the defendants. So you want to make sure that you have spent a lot of time vetting, so to speak, these potential jurors. You want to know what their biases are. They may not even know what their biases are until you ask those pointed questions and you keep digging deeper and deeper to find out really if they have any biases and if they can be fair and impartial.
And this is day one. We know jury selection is going to last a while. LaFonda, what can we expect moving forward?
In the near future, we can expect a lot of what we saw today, and that is tedious questions and answers from the jury panel as a whole, and then we'll be shut out. We won't be able to hear the individual interviews. They'll do a lot of that, and there will be a lot of motions going forward, and the attorneys will make their decisions on whether or not they want to use this particular juror or not, keep them on the panel or not. I would expect the process to last at least a week. One of the attorneys estimates 2 weeks, but I expect that that's what we'll see in the near future.
Okay. LaFonda Middleton, our legal analyst, thank you for providing that context for us.
Now,
Thank you.
Now, both Arbery's mother and father were in the courtroom today as jury selection got underway. We have video of Marcus Arbery Sr. as he was walking in for the start of court this morning. We're going to show that to you in just a minute if we can pull it up. Here he is. Both of Ahmaud's parents say today was a day that they've been looking forward to since the shooting happened.
The day I laid him to rest, I saw him for the last time, and I told him these words: I will find out what happened, and I will bring whoever did this to you to justice.
Do you hope that you'll get justice in this case?
For sure.
And do you think that you'll be able to see a fair jury?
I'm praying to God.
Now, while it was a busy day inside the Brunswick courtroom, it was also very busy outside as well. Supporters of Ahmaud Arbery and his family gathered on the lawn outside the courthouse, some holding signs in their hands calling for justice for Ahmaud. Some were from this local area. However, there were others who traveled from far away to be here.
Our bus actually left us, so we drove all the way from Missouri. We just have to make sure that they know that we're here for them and that we're here to support them, and we're here to just let them know that we're not forgetting. We're not forgetting that this happened.
Here because we're here for justice.
And people of all ages, old and young, plan on spending time outside of the courthouse to show support. You just heard from one of the youngest supporters our crew spotted today from an Atlanta-based group called the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda. The group's executive directors say that this trial could set the precedents for other cases in Georgia and beyond.
It's really important because of their future, because criminal justice impacts our communities adversely. And so we're here to make sure justice is done for our people and for Ahmaud's family.
And among the supporters outside the courthouse, they want to get the message across that they want peace in their protest. A group of clergymen gathered to set that tone with a prayer at the there before the trial, and they plan to be there for the duration of this legal event. And we spoke with Glenn County Sheriff Neil Jump today as the trial started to unfold, and he says everything is running smoothly, but says they still need to be ready for the unexpected.
Community leaders, the family members, they have all said that they want this to go fair, to go right, and without any missteps of anybody coming in or that are here.
And we're going to be in Brunswick every step of the way. You can follow our team dedicated to following every development on air and online.
And you can follow along with our live blog. It's on the First Coast News app. It's also going to be posted on our social media channels and our website, firstcoastnews.com.